I think it's really important that you utilize a call to action at the end of your correspondence with customers. Personalize the information. Use the customer's name as often as you can. There's an AI component to a lot of these CRMs. If you have that AI component, I recommend that you experiment with it, but make sure before you send emails on artificial intelligence out to the customer that you read them and that you feel comfortable with the AI result. Don't just AI and then send it out, because you never know what might happen. Just an FYI. So here's an example of an email that I would send out to a customer in my initial email. Thanks for reaching out about the 2025 Camry. Great choice. It's one of the most popular models. The SE trim you required about is available and currently qualifies for a limited time rebate and special financing rate. You see that word available? It doesn't necessarily mean it's in my inventory. It could be in someone else's inventory. It could be on the way. But the fact that it's available is not a lie. It features Apple CarPlay, heated seats, and top-tier safety tech. I've attached a few photos so you can see it up close. We found that real photos, and articles have stated this, real photos of the vehicle have a better result than factory photos. It's an absolute fact. So if you do have the vehicle in stock, go take pictures of it. Let me know if you'd like to schedule a test drive. There's your call to action. Or talk through your options. I'm here to help. Call to action. Let me know when a good time to call and discuss it with you. That's a call to action. So end every email with a call to action. Gary, anything?
Yeah, I like to do the thing a little bit different when you respond to the email. Real simple. We talked about this at Gould this morning. Thank you for reaching out to us. Next, answer the question. The Grand Highlander comes with this, whatever it is that they asked about. Answer the question. Second thing you do. Third, make sure you give them the pricing on the vehicle. Put it out there. We have it on our website. Why would you make them go search for it? If we don't have it or the vehicle's not available, fourth thing is you need to offer alternatives. Give them something else. What do you have close to it? You know what? The red one is sold. We have gray, blue, or white. When can we be here? And I've learned through my experience that we can cover a lot more ground sometimes in a short phone call. I will call you in 10 minutes. Make that promise and then fulfill that promise. Obviously, if there's no phone number there, that's not something you would say. But if there's a phone number, tell them you're going to call them in 10 minutes and call them. If they can't answer the phone, if they're busy, they're working, whatever, that's fine. They're going to say, you know what, this guy responded and said he's going to call me in 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, he called.
It matters a lot to people when you're on time and you're prompt.
And you did what you said you were going to do.
Jason?
One step more on the outgoing emails, whether we have the car or it's something where you're going to put suggestions in. I think everybody's handling internet at least probably knows how to add the vehicles right from your website. When you add those in there and the customer clicks on that one or any other ones, it leaves a trail and it notifies you that they clicked on that car so you can see what other ones they're looking at.
Yeah, we found that out. What's his name? Alex found that out today.
That's for Roadster, but yeah, even on the regular.
Oh, Roadster, yeah.
Even on the regular emails, you'll get notified if they click on one of those cars, and it takes you to their webpage with all the photos.
You should have a champion in the store, an internet champion, go through some of these details that these folks may not know. There's some things that were pointed out today that it's obvious not everybody knows about. And I think if you get a champion, that's what I'm talking about by champions, guys. People that are really good at doing something in your store. They may not be up to it, but give them an opportunity to train the rest of the staff. And the reason why you have this certain person training the staff is because they've championed it. They do a really good job at it. And they want to share their success, not stories with you, but how to do it. I think it's really important. In a group setting like this, not just store level, get with Gerry and put something together. I think it would be beneficial to everybody. Meet and greet, back to school. This is internet phone. Hi, thanks for calling Watson Automall. My name is. How can I assist you? So there's a thing, I'm talking with Gerry. This is one of the final stages of putting this together. I want to make sure I can help you properly. I went a little bit further with Gerry. Gerry likes, and I like it too, would rather you call back the customer. The old days, we used to say, in case we get disconnected, give me your phone number. And that was the way to get the customer's phone number, because it's important to have their phone number. What's most important here is forming a connection with the customer. Remember, customers want to remain anonymous, so asking for their name too early in the process could screw you up. Start asking their names when you feel comfortable, if you feel they're comfortable with you. But one of the things you want to do when they ask for information, is give them a choice. I can put you on hold for a few minutes and say something like that. Most people don't like to be put on hold. It might get tied up. It might be better if I call you with the information because I want to be complete and accurate with that information. What's a good number to call you back? And then once I get the number, give me about 10 or 15 minutes, I'll call you back with the information. I've gone through a lot of phone training. I'm sure you have gone through a lot of phone training. There's a lot of good phone training companies out there. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, it's all about being able to communicate and have a lasting communication with the customer. The word tracks, people see right through word tracks. And when you get a script in front of you, the only reason you have the script is so that you have a guideline as the things that you need to ask. But I just want to keep it simple. Engage the customer by asking questions. I found throughout my career, I think many of you will agree with me, that the best way to get a customer engaged in conversation and keep the conversation rolling along is to simply ask them questions. Stop talking and start asking questions. We're going to talk about the needs assessment questions. I have a bunch of them. This is primarily for the hybrid customer, that customer that's on the internet. I think a very important question to ask the customer is, what research have you done so far? Up to this point, what research have you done? I visited this website, I visited that website. What did you find on the website? What did you click on the website? What options did you select on the website? What impressed you about the vehicle on the website? What's the reason for contacting our dealership? Do you have an opportunity to call a number of other dealerships? It's almost like you're sitting on an airplane. Thanks for flying Southwest Airlines. We know you had an opportunity to fly here with every other airlines. No, sorry, pal. You were the only airline that was direct, and you suck. But that's besides the point. Seriously, that's how I feel sometimes. What specific options did you select? What other vehicles are you comparing this vehicle to? Again, these questions I'm sharing with you, I'm not suggesting that you ask every customer every time these questions. I'm just suggesting that this is dialogue, questions that you can ask your customer to keep the dialogue moving along. I'm not suggesting that we want you to ask every customer these questions. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is it's a foundation to keep the conversation moving along. It's just an outline in the meet and greet. Smile, be confident, be polite, be welcoming, be alert, attentive, positive, and authentic. The standard meet and greet at every Washington Automall store should be, welcome to Washington Automall. My name's Gerry Gould, here for sales and service. I just think it's a great conversation opener. If you have spoken to anybody here at the dealership, whatever happens next is fine, whatever you decide to do. Trying to get the customer inside, that's the first thing you want to do, is make an attempt to get the customer inside and go through your needs assessment. If the customer insists on going and walking around, last thing we want to do is hand them a card. We want to walk around with them. I'm just looking, great. Great day to look, don't worry about it, that's allowed here. Say stuff like that. And I have some answers to that customer saying, I'm just looking. One of the worst things that I ever could get from, I'm just looking. And I used to say to them jokingly, and you could get away with this in the streets of Boston, man, you're looking good, man. Your wife's looking good too. I didn't say that often. Sometimes I'm just Mr. Looking. How long you been looking? I'm making a joke, but the bottom line here is one of the most frustrating things you can get as a sales consultant is, I'm just looking. And I want to bring it one step further, talking about frustrating things, because one of the most frustrating things that F&I managers face on a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen, if you want your deals to get done quicker, complete the paperwork. But more importantly, make sure it's accurate. And stop your whining and crying that it's taking too long in F&I. Because the majority of the time, the reason it's taking long in F&I is because you guys aren't giving them all the paperwork. You guys aren't completing the paperwork. And you're making their job really difficult. So I'll end it at that. Seriously. It's true. It's not professional. It doesn't expedite anything. And it makes things sloppy. And it doesn't promote CSI either. Let's get it right. A couple other things with the meet and greet. You want to keep the conversation moving along. I think it's really important moving forward that we find out what brought that customer to our dealership. And I don't mean what brought the customer to the dealership. Look, this may sound corny. As a sales consultant who sold cars for a long time, some of the things that come out of my mouth sound really crazy. I don't know if I would ever have said back in the 70s or 80s, what inspired you to come to our dealership? I don't think I'd ever say that. But today, I think it's a great question to ask. What inspired you to come to our dealership? I think there's nothing wrong with that. What attracted this particular vehicle? And the reason I find it so weird to say stuff like that is because our textbook wasn't like that. Our textbook was more direct. Just get in their face. What brought you here, man? But that's besides the point. Start using some of this dialogue. What have you heard about our dealership? Let me tell you what's different about our dealership. And then get into your story. And what you're doing, you're taking the customer from, I just look in, and moving them into, all right, this is interesting, let's go find out. You're creating a connection with that customer. Inference is a big thing. It's like inference, something on that person, something in that car, something, the dialect that they have. is common to what you have, something that you know, and you want to utilize that to gain that common ground or gain that rapport with the customer. It's like someone has a Red Sox jersey on. What you think of the Red Sox last night? Someone has a Pittsburgh Steelers shirt on. Their car's got a yellow stripe going down the middle of this black car with gold wheels. You must be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Stuff like that, okay? Just to gain rapport. Enough of the meet and greet. So here's some objections. I would really like to just look around. You're going to get that, no matter how formal, no matter how informal, no matter how much you stick to the script, you're going to get it. I really would like to look at. I'd really like to look around. Page 26. That's certainly allowable here. Don't worry about it. I really would like to look around. Don't worry. Be happy. What? I was an F&I manager behind me with that song. Don't worry, be happy. And then they got in my office. Don't worry, be happy. And I used to have you making music. Don't worry, be happy. And they said, sign here. You won't have to worry about a thing. I understand you prefer to just look around. To help you save time, I can point you in the right direction. If you're aware of the vehicle you're interested in, if you're not aware of which vehicle you're interested in, I can ask you a few questions to help you find the best vehicle that fits you. What are you interested in? I'm interested in a Tucson. What is it about the Tucson you like so much? All right? What are you driving now? I'm driving a Sonata. How long have you owned the Sonata? I've owned it for only 8 months. 8 months? That's a short period of time. How many miles on the Sonata? There's 2,500 miles on it. 2,500 miles? Why do you want to trade it? I just found out my wife's pregnant. Oh, wow, you need a bigger car, so you're looking at a Tucson getting into an SUV, right? You do stuff like that out in the lot, and the next thing you know, the customer's walking into the showroom with you, you're sitting them down, and you're pulling up a Tucson, and you're taking them on a test drive, and you're selling them a car, and you're asking them to pay this much. You know what they're saying to you? Okay. And that's how it works. And so this is our first stop. This is 2025. There's no way this is your first stop. It might be your first physical stop, but it's not your first stop. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Huh? This is your first physical stop, but it's not your first stop. I'm sure you stopped a lot of dealerships before you came to this one. So, this is your first stop. Thanks for choosing our dealership first. What influenced you to visit our store first? That opens up dialogue. Man, I'm glad you choose our dealership first. You mind if I ask you a question? Do you mind if I ask you a question? May I ask you a question? What are they going to say? No, you mayn't. No, go right ahead. What inspired you to come to our dealership first? Why are we the lucky ones? Huh? What did we do to deserve that? And they'll tell you. And they're going to tell you all the reasons why they're standing in front of you and all the reasons why they should going to buy a car from you. I don't have much time. Don't worry about it. Remember? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We got plenty of time. I'll give you all the information you need. Let's go inside. I'll give you all the information you need. You go home and think about it. Do whatever you want. At least you leave here with all the information you need. May I suggest you come back when you do have time? No, don't be saying that stuff. You like it? Good stuff, right? I'm not buying today. How about tomorrow? I'm just kidding. Mike, this is it, right? My job is to make it simple and easy for you whether you buy a car today or not. You leave here well informed. Do you mind if we go inside and tell you about all the vehicles you're interested in? Or I'll give you all the information on the vehicle you're interested in? Look, man, I just want the price. All right, price is the easiest part of my job. Let's go in the showroom. I can tell you all the price information you need to make a decision. We're not just trying to get the customer in the showroom, huh? So we can manage the deal, not control the deal, manage the deal. I know exactly what I want. Great, tell me what it is. What's the difference between a good sales consultant and a great sales consultant? A good sales consultant would take the customer to what the customer wants. What do you want? I want a Toyota Tundra. All right, follow me, I'll show them to you. That's a good sales consultant. The great sales consultant would do this. You want a Toyota Tundra? Man, that's a great truck. Come on inside. Tell me all about all you want. Mike, come here for a second. Come on. I was taught this a long time ago. You ready for this? Everybody know Mike? Huh? He had no idea what's going to happen right now. He's going, what are you going to do, Gerry? Nothing. Watch this. My dad taught me this a long time ago. Follow me. And I said, well, what's that? Then he went like this. Follow me. See how that works? Huh? Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Nice job. He did it awesome. It's like we practiced. Look, it works. Okay? If you sit there and wait for the customer to move, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. And that's what my dad taught me. He stood there a couple of times and go, what are you doing? And he laughed at me. And then one day, all of a sudden, he went like this, follow me. And I followed him. And he tapped me on the back just like I did Mike. Nice job, Gerry. Now you get it? I get it. Motion creates motion. Get the customer to follow you into the showroom.